People want to follow people that excite them. People want to follow people with a positive attitude. People want to follow people that have enthusiasm. And enthusiasm is about more than how you talk.
How many of you have something that you know you should do in your business? You know you should do it.
When you start by doing the right thing on a daily basis over and over and over again, guess what? The right thing happens.
It's the right thing to do. It's the smart thing to do. You are capable of doing it. It would make things better. And you're not doing it. Is it just me? Anybody else? Can I get a witness? You've had a business, you started it
I started
in high
when
school.
I was 14.
14.
Yeah.
This stuff isn't theory.
No, it's not. I like to tell audiences that listen, you know, give me the next 45 minutes, please, and listen to us, because I was doing this stuff last week, not 10 years ago. I know what it's like to hire and fire a friend. I know what it's like to hire and fire a brother. I know what it's like to meet payroll. I know what it's like to have an angry client that, you know, the future of your business may hinge upon. You got to try to make it work. I know those things. Those are part of my experience that's made me who I am today.
I've worked in the corporate world for almost 30 years. It's been fascinating to me to see the lessons that you can learn from these, I mean, really big, like Fortune 500 companies. The exact same lessons apply to the, you know, the bowling alley that's doing really well. It's not so much a matter of, wow, we don't know what to do. I think everybody pretty much does know what to do.
They do know what to do.
It's a matter of whether you choose to do it.
They're not doing it. It's time to get a plan. It's time to look at opportunities that are boundless. They're everywhere. It's just how you look at them. We got to have people behind us. We have to be thinking about where we're going and where we're trying to get to. You know, you hear the word strategic plan, and I think people run. You know, I heard Lou Holtz say one time, you know, Martin Luther King didn't stand up and say, well, I have a strategic plan. He said, what? I have a dream. What is your dream? And then that process of planning really is a lot more simple than what we think. But how many of us abort the plan?
One of my favorite definitions of leadership, the manager makes the organization function as it's designed to function, but a leader reminds everybody of who they are.
You need to constantly be talking to your people about what's important, where we're headed, what does a win look like. Continue as a leader to look for those behaviors that you wish to have present in your company and acknowledge those people. You're going to go a lot further by going around catching people doing things right than playing gotcha all day long, talking about all the mistakes you made. Yes, learn from those mistakes, but treat them just for that and move forward in a positive fashion.
It's one thing to become successful. It's a whole nother deal to stay successful. Along with outside-the-box thinking, try inside-the-box thinking. You go back and innovate inside the box, and it could be the greatest return you'll get. Here's what I mean by inside the box: close to the customer. There are a lot of things about what makes a business successful that when people hear them, they go, yeah, but I already knew that. What else have you got? You know it, but you're not doing it.
You're not doing it, and that's the difference. How many things are there in a business that aren't being done well? You know, how's communication around your company? How many times have you surprised a client and damaged a relationship?
There are certain things that work in business regardless of the size of the business.
It's about pleasing the customer, understanding what that customer wants, how can we work with them better, that your external customer service will never exceed your internal customer service. You know, how can you expect your people to treat your clients like kings and queens if you're not treating them like kings and queens? I told you a short time ago, if there was only one thing you learned from this whole event, take an interest in others will take an interest in you. When you slow down and you walk in their footsteps and you share with them where you're at and where you're going and what you're trying to do, some absolutely amazing things happen. Show your people through your actions that they mean something to you. I think people in general learn more from their failures than your successes. You know, like for me, as an entrepreneur, when I learn, where's it hit me? It hits me in the back pocket, and that hurts.
There's much more danger in inaction
than
there is in action, because if nothing else, if you try something and it doesn't work, you get information.
Absolutely.
You get a lot more information about which way you should go.
I don't hand out advice. I hand out experience, and I think there's a big difference to have speakers like you and myself that actually come and say, look, this is what you should do because this is what we did.
It's not that I'm a genius. I'm a really good reporter, though, and there are things that work. They've worked for my business. They've worked for Fortune 500 companies. They've worked for mom and pop businesses. Here's what works. It's a matter of choose to do it, go back, take action, implement.
Couldn't say it any better.
How many of you have ever heard of a company called Zappos.com? Raise your hands. How many of you are customers of Zappos.com? Raise your hands. Okay, so what's so great about them? What do they do that's so great? Somebody raise your hand. Okay, wait, somebody said fast. Who said that? You hit send and your doorbell rings. And what it's done is it's created these rabidly loyal customers. I like the process of having a group of business owners, entrepreneurs, business leaders, and really mixing it up with these ideas. Get to the point where you feel like, okay, when everybody walks out of the room, something's going to happen.
People that do speak and teach for a living, they understand why they do it. It's because of the impact you make on someone's life. You maybe gave them permission to be successful. They probably had the ability deep down inside to do it, but no one ever kind of said, look, just do those simple things. Yeah, go take action. It'll work.
It's usually not a question of ability or intelligence or any of that. It's a question of, are you choosing to do the things that you know work?
Amen.
It is absolute paramount importance that we lead by example. We paint a picture by our actions of what's important to us. We play like we mean it.
Michelangelo said, the great danger for most of us is not that we will aim too high and miss it. The great danger for most of us is that we'll aim too low and what? Hit it. Aim high.